bringing food or something?
No.
I told her this Sunday to bring her donations. Either that or I stop by Shelties and get a pie.
Okay, we up and running? Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. It is Tuesday, November 26, 2019. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Born and unborn.
Okay, minutes and reports received and filed. What? Okay, Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Calvary Luther's having a Thanksgiving celebration today. Around 11 o'clock. I think they have services and then a lunch. Community's prayer breakfast tomorrow morning at Farm Bureau. Thanksgiving's Thursday. And then Sunday we're gonna go to the Elias Softball Championship. They have some kind of dinner at the Mill Bottom. You're both gonna be there, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes,
What time is that on Sunday?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah.
And next Tuesday, Central Bank has the holiday open house for the financial and governmental. Yeah, and then Harrison Bank has one for the lending department too, so I don't know if y'all got invitations to those. I think that's about it till next week.
The only thing I got different than Jeff is I got an executive board meeting for the RPC tomorrow, Wednesday at 11:30.
Okay, I've got, tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, I've got a meeting with Governor Parson. Monday night is Cap Region Board of Governors dinner gala. And otherwise, I've got everything. Of course, we got Small Business Saturday, on Saturday too, so.
That's on Saturday?
Small Business Saturday, yeah, we do it on Saturday, you know.
Y'all do that.
Okay, presentation from staff, consultants, invited guests, the presentation by the Cole County Historical Society to the commission. We have Dale Verslois, who's the president of the Cole County Historical Society, and we have the incoming president, Mark Williams, here. And I brought them for you. They're going to present us with the annual Christmas ornament, which happens to be the Cole County Courthouse,
Cool.
and it's 1820 to 2020. So,
Good timing.
yes, yeah, you like it?
Yeah, that's
Would-
cool.
You want to?
I got one open there if you're just trying to get one open.
We can each.
Well, we're gonna hand out each one of you.
Yeah.
I am the current president of the Cole County Historical Society, Dale Verslois. And this is Mr. Mark Williams. He will be the oncoming president, and then I will be serving as past president. And it is our pleasure to present the Cole County Commission with our Christmas tree ornament of this year, 2020. It's a little bit of bump up early, but then we would like to congratulate Cole County, congratulate the commission on their bicentennial 200th anniversary coming up, which will be next year. And we just want to be a part and present you all with a gift from the Cole County Historical Society. So this will be the Christmas tree ornament for this year.
Great.
All righty, thank you. Appreciate it.
And these are,
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
we have, Sam has some of his business, and we also have them at the Cole County Historical Society for anybody that wishes to purchase them.
How much are they?
$20 a piece.
Very good.
No tax.
Some nice ornaments.
And actually, Melody has some for sale out at.
Give me another one. I'm gonna get 2 trees.
And
Smile, Jeff.
the ornament is a portrait of the Cole County Courthouse. So it is fitting that We represent Cole County in this seat, and appreciate asking to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys look here. Oh, you look at the same spot.
Hurry up, can't second I got in this one.
Okay. Your jacket's covered.
Thanks again, guys. I'm serious, give me another one. Sam, get you one. Yeah, those are very nice.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, they're very nice.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
He's too good.
Yeah, I need to get home. We bumped around every now and
Yeah,
then.
the other one's
Try to keep him out
Yeah, I
of
think
trouble.
that's one.
Oh, I don't know. He, he did me for years.
You got that? Here you go, Sam.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll try to help pass the word, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy these.
We appreciate it.
We got newspaper here, he's definitely.
You got it.
Okay, go, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Go get that deer, Dale.
Yeah, I know, we only got today yet.
Run out of time.
Okay,
Give me one of those other ones and
okay.
then I'll get one.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving ahead because Chris has to leave. Bids and contracts. Approval and signing of 2019-29 natural gas.
We opened this up for a bid last month, and the only one that bid on it was the ones that we're using now, and it's Pro Energy Solutions. They are at 0.3 from 2016 for the 3 years, and now they went down to 0.14. So I'm recommending that we stay with them.
So if y'all remember, at one point we hedged and did some buying that way, but right now it's just with the winters we've had, it's been so inconsistent that we just thought we'd just go by the rate plus the transportation and different things. So anyway, it's a reduction, and I think that we should just continue.
I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
I move that we approve and sign the agreement with Pro Energy Solutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Okay. Do we have any unfinished business?
Yes.
For EMS, we did a sole source for them for First Watch to integrate their systems. We did the sole source in October, and we need to sign the contract for them.
Okay. I move that we sign the contract with First Watch Solutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New business. Accounts payable review.
We don't have accounts payable today, other than a pending one that's still out there that I just need direction on. That was Chris's, Estes'
Okay.
invoice is still out there.
So did we get any further decision on that as far as, I mean, we had talked about paying the 119 and then plus the room charge and the taxes. Is that right?
And that's what I'm still good with.
And from what I understood, that there was multiple rooms that were available, that they didn't run out of rooms at that rate. You just had to reserve the rooms before that date. That's what
the way
I,
understand it.
yep.
Okay, well then, that's all I really want to pay is $119.
Okay.
And the number of days you're okay with is just the amount.
Yes, yes. So it was 119, and then there was a room service charge or something, and then there was the taxes on that, so.
We'll reimburse that then. when we come to that.
Well-
Everything else on that was okay?
We all good with
I
everything
think-
else? Yep.
Okay. I'll change it and we'll get that paid then.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Assessor's office to present errors and omissions.
Computer just went berserk.
I emailed out yesterday the 2 Excel sheets, one for natural disaster with the homes that were destroyed by tornado, and then errors and omissions.
Yep.
Do you have that copy there, Jackie? I'm
Yes.
sorry I didn't. Are you guys good with everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And this allows for just residential property to be reduced based on the damage. Is that right? I think that was something I saw, that commercial property had to wait 2 years or something. Is that,
Commercial and ag.
okay, commercial and ag,
Are not prorated under the statute.
right. Okay. I'm good.
I'm
Yep.
good. Yep.
So I move that we approve the errors and omissions as presented by the assessor's office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Approval and signing of change order number 1.
Do you guys, do you have these? Okay.
Okay.
You need a copy, Jeff? Okay,
You're giving, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We've got 1, 2, and 3. Are they all the same? Yeah, okay.
2020, what you guys talked about last week.
Yeah. You want my-
So change order number 1 was to change some pipe from HDPE pipe to Schedule 40 pipe due to some depth issues. Change order 2 was to add some mel drain materials and a parch coat on the foundation because of the difference in the stone. And then change order 3 was to add some electrical conduit for all the electrical work being done outside, so that we could run new wires if something ever happened, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about all of it last week,
Good?
so if nothing's changed since then, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I move that we approve and sign change order number 1, change order number 2, and change order number 3 for the courthouse site improvements project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Budget adjustment request from the health department.
Hello. So about 6 weeks or a couple months ago, we came in and we talked about the immunization budget because we basically needed a loan where we paid for the refrigerators, we paid the vaccine. I don't know if didn't we decide that the one refrigerator was gonna come out of capital instead of IMS, or did we just wanna move more money into IMS? Anyway, the refrigerator is still in the IMS line. We got another shipment of Shingrigs at $1,400 a shipment. So our budget line is gonna be in the red again. So we tried to estimate how many we were gonna get, but the demand is there. So they're sending us more vaccine. So we need to increase the budget line or transfer that one refrigerator to capital. What?
Yeah, because if we transfer the refrigerator to the capital expense, it was like $3,900, then our capital expenditures, then we wouldn't need to.
Get more
We
money
did
in
not,
the
when we
budget.
sent in the amended budget, we did not include a refrigerator in that budget, so.
So what is what are we storing in the refrigerator?
Vaccines.
Vaccines for everyone in Cole County, or basically?
Well, anybody, I mean,
Right.
we'll give immunizations to people that are not even Cole County residents, so, we have 3 vaccines, and they have to be separate. Vaccines for children from the state have to be in their own refrigerator, they can't be with private stock.
How much is the refrigerator?
They were each around $4,000.
It's not really as easy as transferring at this point. Since you paid it out of general, we would have to reimburse from the sales tax fund to general, and then you'd have to court order that money in. So it's not as easy as a transfer at this point because it came out of a different fund than where we originally wanted it from.
So say that again. So originally we paid it out of general revenue
Right, and
within the health department?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So at this point, it would be writing a check from the sales tax fund to the general fund to reimburse for that refrigerator. And
Okay.
to get it back into their budget, it would have to be court ordered back in, because you'd have to increase the revenue and the expense in the general fund to offset the expense that's in there. It would
So are we talking
almost-
about 1 refrigerator or 2? Just
Well,
1?
we got 2, but
Right.
really the cost of one is what's,
Okay.
it makes a huge difference in our budget. Like right now, we're down to like $600, Shingrix is like $14.40 for those 3.
So I would think that we'd pay for it out of the sales tax, but I don't necessarily need the refrigerator in their budget.
Well, so the other option would just be to move money from contingency into the health department's budget to cover the overage on the Shingrix, because you should be getting reimbursed for most of that cost. It's just not gonna be in the same time period. So their revenue should be increasing as well because they're getting reimbursed for the Shingrix. It's just not at the exact same time as they're purchasing it.
We're buying this. This is our vaccine now, because as of January 1st, we're not going through Vaxcare anymore, so they are sending us straight from the manufacturer. So this is our vaccine.
Right.
So we'll get it reimbursed when we fill it.
Right,
Yeah.
so you will recoup the cost. It's
We
just
will.
going to be a timing difference.
I mean, I think it should just be paid out of the sales tax. I mean, whatever you guys want to do. I think this is good outreach for the health department. I mean, obviously, they're out in the community. They're helping keeping people healthy in our community. That's what their function is. I mean, really promote health and wellness. So, I mean, what a better way to do that than to be out giving vaccinations and letting people know about the programs that we have at the health department. And so I think we should just,
Yeah, I'd do it the easiest way.
I mean, I think the easiest way would just be to move money from contingency and general fund to the health department to pay for the vaccines that are still coming.
that's just all coming out of GR though,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
And then will GR get the money back
yes.
Yeah, that's what.
when you
Yeah.
bill it at some point?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the Shingrix vaccine has been hard to get, so we're glad to be able to finally get
And
it.
any of you that are over 50 need your Shingrix, come see us. It's shingles vaccine. You need 2 doses, 2 months apart, so come see us. We'll be glad to give it to you.
Big needle.
Telling you,
You
you
are.
stand still. The other day I didn't have my finger, I had to get
I've
another
had 2
shot.
more years, but it's like every time you turn around, she's trying to give you a shot.
I know, it should be there. Just said I cut my finger the other day, I got a tetanus shot. I was
Shingle
like,
season, if
Yeah.
you're 50,
So will we see the transfer then?
Yeah, we'll fill out a transfer from,
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
It's like a pay
okay.
I think we're figuring
Modern Litho Industrial Development Project. And I printed off a copy
Okay.
as well. Okay,
Yep. You want to read it?
did they need a letter from us, or is this what we've just done?
we just did it,
Same.
I think.
Well, they were wanting input, and so I just thought it'd be just as easy just to draft a letter from us, and if you guys don't want to do that, that's fine, but I thought, I mean, let's support the project and support new jobs in our community, and so,
Yes.
anyway.
This is a industrial development project for Modern Litho Print Company. The Cole County Commission supports the industrial development project to expand Modern Litho Print Company's production capacity and operating efficiencies at its facility. The commission further endorses the financing plan to increase industrial development and to create new jobs in Cole County. That's just sincerely the 3 of us.
Yeah, thanks for writing that, so.
Yeah.
So if you all want to sign that, and then I'll mail it, and Lynn, I'll scan and send you a copy.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, I support the project, but I was just curious if we've done these letters before, or what, if they asked us
Well-
to do it for this one, because there's,
In the past, we would have a meeting with the tax increment or the TIF commission or whatever that
So-
taxing entity is, and so obviously that didn't happen. And so rather than having them come to us and everything else, or having to go to their meeting and, which I don't think we really have a whole lot of input, whether they do it or not, but anyway, I think it just shows a good,
so
Yeah,
why
I-
wasn't there a TIF meeting then?
There's a comment opportunity Monday at the city council meeting, when they sent us the project.
Okay, well, we've done TIF meetings before, so.
We've been,
maybe
we
it's not-
tried to arrange a date that worked for everybody.
You
I
just
don't,
pick a date and make people work around it.
I don't think Larry, it's, Larry Benz and I are both on. the
This
TIF.
isn't a TIF.
No, it's not.
Well, I was gonna say, I saw the chapter 100 bonds, but I thought there was, so it's not a TIF at all.
No, they're,
There is tax abatement, but that's because the city of Jefferson owns the equipment, so being.
Yeah, because they hold the title while they're paying it off.
Right, so they're exempt.
So,
So Modern Litho's paying in lieu of taxes half of what we would regularly get.
Normally they'd have a meeting about this stuff. I mean, whether it's a, you know, TIF commission or whatever it is, normally they get all the entities involved and get together and talk about it, but
That's why we usually know more coming into it.
yes.
So that was kind of the first I'd heard of it, so I was curious why we're doing a letter now, or if we've done them before.
Have not done them before, and
Because we generally would, but if it's not a TIF, we wouldn't be at a TIF meeting. But if it's an abatement of taxes, then essentially it is,
something similar, yes.
I'm just talking myself into a circle.
Yeah.
Confusing myself.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you know, Modern Litho has an operation in St. Louis too, so I appreciate them developing and adding on to their
So essentially. we're
plant
gonna
here
be-
in Jefferson City.
We're gonna be out, what did it say, 7,000 in Road and Bridge and 2,000 in some other taxes. GR, so they
Over
just,
7 years.
they just want us to, for a blessing and saying, okay.
Yeah, well, and Chris was thinking, instead of going to the city council meeting for the comment opportunity, we just send a letter. But if you wanna
No, I
go.
was just wondering where this got different than what it used to be.
I'm different.
Yeah.
I don't have that much time.
Yeah.
You would usually have a TIF meeting.
I can nominate you to go to the city council meeting, I guess. I thought this was just easier. If you don't want to sign it, that's fine. I mean, I
But
don't,
we've never gone to a city council meeting over these before.
we've had other meetings before on chapter 100 bonds and TIFs and everything else.
TIFs, but not,
On all that stuff. I mean, we were always involved in all that
what?
taxing,
No, I'm fine.
tax
because most of our
abatements
meetings
or
can be
whatever.
settled with an email instead of spending 2 hours in a meeting.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with it. I was just, why is this one, how'd this one get different? So, all right, I'm fine with it.
I move that we sign a letter of support.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I mean, I honestly still don't have an answer to the question, but I don't want to get stuck going to a meeting.
Okay, we gotta keep going. East High Street Cooperative Project discussion and concurrence in award.
I should've saved it for this
David.
one, huh? David's here, all right.
Yeah. Jeff's argumentative. Get ready.
Yeah, it's yeah, so I'm glad you all are laughing because this is no. So we had advertised for bids back at the beginning of November, and we opened bids for the East High Street project on Thursday of last week. We ended up with 3 bidders. All of them actually were very closely spaced to each other. Ultimately, Aplex submitted the low bid, and if you have the bid tabulation in front of you, all the work that we would be considering to be a joint city-county project is all contained in the base bid. We also have some sewer work that's taking place, but those are contained in alternates A and B, and would be being, we're ultimately going to be accepting A, and it's going to be paid for by the sewer fund of the city. So really, we're looking at a base bid from Aplex of $1,933,074. And so that is slightly more than what we had originally budgeted. We had originally budgeted $1.7 million. And so we're a little bit better than $200,000 over what we had estimated back in the very beginning when we began looking at this project. And so currently there is an agreement that we had signed, the city and the county, for this project. And I don't actually have that with me, but the language, I think, basically said that, that we would split those costs, so $150,000 or $850,000 each. And if it came in over, we would discuss what would happen after that. And so, ultimately, Eric and I have been trading emails back and forth. And I think I had indicated to him that, if need be, the city could cover that, but he indicated back that I think he has some discussions with you all that there might be the possibility of amending that agreement and splitting that dollar amount 50-50. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the bid, but that's kind of where we are today. And so ultimately, we're looking for your concurrence for that, and we would have our city council take a look at that on Monday next week, and then ultimately 2 weeks from then would potentially approve the contract if you all are in concurrence.
Yeah, I wanna see this, I wanna see this started, so. I think Jeff does too, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna figure out where the extra money's gonna come from.
Well, we would, it would, if we split it evenly, it'd be $116,537. We can adjust our budget this year due to some projects shifting into next year to cover that this year. For future, would just come out of the half-cent, or the cooperative project portion of the half-cent sales tax, so.
Right. The Dunklin Street project had come in slightly under what we had originally estimated. And so there is some funding within that same category of the sales tax that we could just shift into this project, is what we were thinking. But that would leave about $100,000 that we'd have to get out of a different category. And I didn't bring that sheet with me, but there are funds sort of unearmarked within other categories that I think that we could use
Okay.
for that.
I was trying to remember what was on that sheet. I can't find it either. I thought there was some in there, but I'll look for it. As long as we got money in there to cover it, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. We need to move on.
Mhm.
And I saw something in one of the emails about, we're gonna go to that amount, and if there's change orders above and beyond that, then.
It would be up to the city to cover that additional,
Right. Which is fine.
if that's what you all
Yeah.
agree to.
Right, I mean, I think part of it is a bookkeeping thing, so in some ways, having a set dollar figure, from just a bookkeeping standpoint is actually easier. I mean, ultimately, it does lead to, if there's overages, then ultimately, the city ultimately is gonna be ahead in spending some of those dollars, but from a bookkeeping standpoint, it is easier.
Yeah, when you have that X amount of dollars, you know what you have to dip
Right,
from, so.
right.
And if it means you just can't use it for overlays or something later on, that takes away from that, so.
There was 4 items that were listed kind of as project types when we were talking about the half-cent sales tax 3 years ago. And Clark Avenue interchange was kind of one standalone, and then improve roadway safety, maintenance or improvement of existing infrastructure, and supporting emerging economic commercial development projects. And this one was under the maintenance or improvement of existing infrastructure, but it could also qualify for improving roadway safety, and really they can kind of interchange to some degree.
And I think that's where we are intending to take, kind of categorize that 100,000 would be coming out of the highway safety or roadway safety category.
So, I mean, as far as putting the money where it needs to go, we can do that, that's no problem. If you do agree to the additional funding for the rest of the cost to go to the contract amount, we would have to do a supplemental agreement to the original, or an addendum to the original agreement, which we can bring up next week and have you all sign.
I'm fine with it. I wanna see us get going.
Yeah, so Aplex, we talked with them just briefly, and it sounds like they're willing to move forward. We basically have set the project up with a completion date of basically this time next year, and we'll be issuing a notice to proceed in January, so they could start any time now, kind of depending on the winter. The sanitary sewer work certainly can probably proceed in weather that wouldn't be necessarily good for pouring concrete, but they seem kind of anxious to get started, so we might see something happening pretty soon.
Okay.
So it'd be 50% of the base bid, or $966,537.
Correct.
Would be the maximum
That would
amount.
be right, yeah.
Yes.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep.
Yep.
So I move that we approve the base bid for the East High Street project in concurrence with the city for a maximum of $966,537.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Give us a quick on Duncan then.
What was it, 976?
966,537.
Yes, so,
We do need to, about every quarter you ought to come, but I
That's
know
right.
We're short of time, but since
Okay,
you
well,
said
real quick
Dunklin's
then.
coming in under, I like that.
well, the bid was under, there's probably going to be some change orders of some
Okay.
sort before the whole thing is finished. But I guess the exciting thing for today's news is that we are laying asphalt on the section between Missouri Boulevard and the bridge. And so we intend to get the base lift in there today. And then depending, hopefully we won't get so much rain that we can't put the other 2 lifts on there tomorrow. They're working on cleaning the street between the bridge and Mulberry. What we're looking at now is probably using some of our own street forces to go in and use asphalt millings to patch some of the street cuts that happened for water service lines and sewer service lines, et cetera. And then basically then open the street back up to traffic, by early next week, if not by Thanksgiving. Of course, it's not going to be done. It's not going to be perfect. It's still going to be construction. But we're going to allow traffic to go through there through the winter, since we're really not going to be able to make a ton of progress. So that's that Dunklin project. Of course, then also there's the Clark and Dunklin, that, we have some discussions going on at the city council about that one as well. So I didn't know if you wanted to hear about that one, or if that wasn't your question, I can.
No, I think that
for the
one
sake of time, I can be
we'll-
quiet.
Well, we do need to be a part of that, but yeah, we'll talk about it some future date.
Okay. Very good.
All right.
Thank you, David.
Thanks.
Thank you.
David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final closeout change order approval, Railroad Spur Extension Project.
Okay, real quick, we had change order 2. We had not figured what the final quantities were going to be on the project, so we ended up coming in just a little bit under what change order 2 added to the contract for, to the tune of $4,523 for a final construction cost of $566,431.90. And this is with Railworks Track Services, so like I said, it is a little bit less than what we had elevated the contract to after change order number 2. Reason is we had, there were some cuts and fills that changed quantity-wise due to some additional grading that had been done after the original survey on the project at the Morris Building when they were doing their expansion. And so it just changed what the quantities were, so ended up being a little bit of a savings. So I'd recommend approval of that change order number 3 for final closeout with Railworks Track Services.
And this completes the crossing, that was the city's portion, and then the extension to Morris. And
Yeah, this-
we've satisfied our commitment to Morris, and everything's
Everything is done.
good.
Good.
Questions?
Good.
Yeah, it turned out very good.
I move that we approve and sign the Railroad Spur Extension Project final closeout.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Tanner Bridge Road Safety Project update.
Just want to give you a quick update. That project or road is slated to be opened to traffic tomorrow. The contractor, Don Schneider's Excavating, closed the road. It'll be 30 days prior to yet tomorrow. So we had in there an incentive if they completed it this year. It had to be this year, and then they had to do it by the end of November. And everything's tracking to where they will be successful in that. And the project turned out very good. Like I said, Don Schneider's, they got at it, and I would say exceeded what we expected. It was going to be a challenge to get it done. They hit the weather windows just right, and actually it's been closed to traffic, but locals have been using it, and really people have been getting around fine with it. So very successful project. Just wanted to let you all know that is planned to be open tomorrow, and there may be a few cleanup items to be done yet into next week. Kind of depends on what the weather does tomorrow with the seating, if it blows everything around. But for all practical purposes, we're done, and everything turned out great, and everybody's happy from what I understand. So just wanted to bring y'all up to speed on that.
So was the striping stuff done as well, or?
Striping was being done probably as we speak.
Okay.
And one other thing, we made a slight change to what we would do with the future phase going to the bottom, and that changed some of what our utility relocations were going to be just at the end of the project, which actually resulted in an underrun. So we'll come in under the contract amount on this project, so that's a good thing as well. I haven't tracked where we're at quantity-wise, but it'll be a fair amount that we come in under.
I've been doing some work on Terra Road, and it's night and day difference, so, I mean, pulling out of Terra Road, you took your life in your hands when you, because you couldn't see at all. So, anyway.
They got in there and got it done.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They were getting toward
Yeah,
the
they-
head and try to keep it as painless as possible. And
Yep.
I know people are anxious for it to get opened up. It's not just because there's some big city traffic in Warrensville. You can definitely tell the difference. But we had a lot more problems with people speeding on some of the other detour routes, so
Yep.
it'll alleviate that a little bit. Couldn't do anything about that with the construction part of it.
Yep, no, they did a good job.
Yep,
So,
very good job.
I think you guys did some bridge maintenance too while it was closed as well.
Yeah, we also did some pothole patching, while it was easier to get in and do it, but yeah, we did some bridge deck patching, so got everything up to pretty good condition, so. But yeah, it's a good project all around, projects like this, sometimes, you can get into the county and the contractor, and it can be challenging at times, but this is a good example of how the owner, us, the contractor, and then the engineer all worked very well together to complete a project as a joint venture between everybody, so it turned out very good.
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 Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay. Any other issues to come before us?
That one account payable is out there ready to be.
Oh, okay. And you guys were good with that, with the amounts changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got all the taxes figured out.
No, that fell under the accounts payable pending review from last week, right?
I think it was the time before.
Well, but we approved it previously, right? Somewhat.
Somewhat, yes. It needs to be approved in the software.
Right.
I think you do it on the minutes again, it's up to you. It was dated for November 1st. Yeah.
I don't think we need to do it, do you?
No, I don't.
No.
We had a census meeting yesterday with the city, but Melissa and I will maybe give an update next week on the census. We're moving ahead. Anything else?
I don't think I got anything.
Okay.
I think I do either. Maybe we stand in recess till 4:30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And everybody have a happy